Welcome to
the local lowdown and
find out what's happening in Lavaca County, Texas. Now here are your hosts, Murray and Michelle.
Hello everybody, this is Murray back with you again for this edition of the Local Lowdown podcast. This is for the 23rd and 24th issues of all the papers in Lavaca County, and we will also cover the Luling Newsboy as we always do. Now friends, we're going to do things a little different. We're going to just highlight front page news, sports news. We will always include the obituaries, and we're going to try to shorten the length a little bit. And you really don't need us to go over every page because you're going to get your paper, and we just want to highlight what you can expect if you haven't already gotten your paper. So I have my co-host Michelle here with me. How are you, Michelle?
You know, I'm just lovely, Murray.
No,
just
all right.
Lovely.
Well, I know you had to be doing good because you was having a breakfast taco.
I did.
When
It was a good
in.
one.
Was it from our regular place?
No, this one was from the bakery here in Hallettsville, and it was yummy.
Good. We'll give them a little plug.
Little plug.
Yeah. They know you pretty well.
They know Clayton pretty well. They're not as familiar with who I am.
What do you call it? Uber what?
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. Clayton is our Uber Eats man, as well as being an outstanding reporter.
Outstanding.
So, Michelle, do you want to start us off with the Hallettsville Tribune Herald?
Of course.
Cover what's all on the front page and what folks
it's
can
pink.
expect. It is pink. Yeah.
Do you like it?
I'll give you that. Well, it's an eye catcher. That's for sure.
Well, I love pink. It's not my favorite color, though. What do you think my favorite color is?
I don't know. I would guess purple, but I'm probably wrong.
Oh. Yellow.
Oh, really? I should have thought about that.
It's bright and shiny, just like me.
Those yellow toes and all that.
Yeah, you should have known.
Yeah.
Okay, to the paper we go. Of course, we talked last week that the fly-in was happening, and so Clayton went out there and enjoyed that last Saturday morning and got some great pictures for us. We have all of the meetings that were to be covered. So we have City Council, we have HISD School Board, and we also have Commissioner's Court. So lots of meetings, and you can find all of that out. And then voting started. So we were talking and talking, but it's time now.
Yeah, it's going on, and I did mine yesterday, and I don't mind telling you, we had to wait in line probably at least 20 minutes.
Which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's not really fun, but at least that means people are going.
Yeah, and it's something that everybody should do. You know, I have my own political beliefs, and I won't include them here. But I think.
But you can follow him on TikTok.
Yeah, I think everybody knows. But the main thing is to get out and vote, because like we've always said, if you don't vote, then you don't have no reason to complain, because like they say sometimes, maybe one vote can decide an election. And we had the bond issue on the ballot.
Yes, so y'all have that in Hallettsville. We don't have one in Shiner, so Yoakum also has one in Moulton, I think.
Yeah. So
for our local areas, there are some bonds going on. And of course, the big presidential election. So
there's been a lot of controversy about that bond. You know, people talking about who's for and against. We've had letters to the editor, so it'll all be settled
very soon.
Very soon.
Couple of weeks, but it was record breaking. So 701. Don't see there's that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Voters cast their ballot and set a record for Lavaca County first day early voting. So. And you went yesterday, and the lady told you about 4,000, right?
That's what she said. Actually, she said over 4,000 had voted since the early voting began.
Yes.
However many days that was. So.
And Jimmy said there's about 14,000 registered voters.
That's
so
right.
Only 10,000 to go, which in 4 days, that's not bad at all.
No.
So the rest of you 10,000, get out there and do your job, including me. band season is going on right now. It's a big deal. And so all of our area or local Lavaca County bands went and participated in competition last week. Hallettsville was definitely one of them, and they are advancing for the first time to the area competition that'll be held this weekend. And that's the first time since 2015. So congrats to them. It's not an easy feat by any means. They practice just as hard as any football team. Well, I don't know because I've never played football, but I know they practice really hard.
They practice hard. I had two daughters that were heavily involved in band over in Gonzales. So we were witness to how hard our kids had to work. And they put out some pretty good bands. I'll tell you that for sure.
So best of luck to them. I know Shiner's band doesn't participate till next week. So good luck to them as well. And when we get to Yoakum, you may be able to tell me when they compete again. We also, of course, when you open your page, you're always going to see 50 years ago, which is by Mr. Chucky Groff. And then I don't know if this is in my new rules of the podcast world, but Henry's my Henry. So his trivia question is new. And what American professional football player held the NFL record for most career touchdowns by a tight end? So as Henry would say, go goggle it.
Yeah.
Here, did you see my joke? You didn't, right? So
No.
You see if you could get it. Don't cheat. Why did the vampire read the newspaper?
I'm afraid I don't know that one.
He heard it had good circulation.
If I had a horn, I'd blow it.
So all of our papers, all 5 of them have, if it wasn't evident by the pink front page, it's not just one of my favorite colors. It is in honor of Breast Cancer Month. And so during the month of October, we celebrate Breast Cancer Month, research, the survivors, all of those things, those that are fighting, we offer support. So we had a great group of advertisers join us to put out some information about breast cancer. You will find those informational pages along with a few stories in all 5 of your papers.
Yeah. Yeah, the stories, actually, Michelle has a story.
I do. I was a writer this week.
Yeah, and I've read a little of it, and it's very, very impressive and informative. And
You were impressed by me, Murray?
Yeah.
Mark this day down, people. In history, Murray was impressed.
I'm always impressed with people that have a personal story, which you definitely have. And then Clayton had written one about a survivor in Shiner, I believe.
Correct. And Nicole talks about caregivers, which we've talked about before, how important that role is. So me and Nicole got both on like back-to-back stories. So that's like best friends next to each other.
Yep.
How
y'all got to do it by yourself last week. So
I know.
You did a good job.
So in obituaries, we have Milton Marvin. Do you say Mitcha or Micah? Mika, sorry. 74 of Hallettsville passed away on Saturday, October the 12th. So condolences to his family for sure. And we are going to keep going to our sports. And so it was a Cardinal-Indian battle last week in all sports. The Cardinals came out on top in volleyball and clinched their district title when playing Sacred Heart. But the Indians, however, got their second win in a row against St. Paul, which this was like a long rivalry game that's been going on.
It's been going on for a long time. I see here where Chuck wrote that this kid, Clayton Haas, scored 3 touchdowns, and the biggest of all was an 80-yard kickoff return to open
That's
the
a long
second half.
one.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
Oxygen after that.
You bet.
And you can see some great volleyball pictures from all the games. Hallettsville, we said that last week was kind of a rough week in Hallettsville. Well, this week was a little bit better because the Lady Bremas also snapped their losing streak, so that's good. Now, Hallettsville football was off last week, but they returned this week to play Hempstead.
Right.
And they're picked to win, so
and they need to pick up a win to get eligible to be in the playoffs. I don't know exactly how many wins you have to have, but
I think Chuck said this is it.
Yeah.
They win this, they're in. So,
well, that's good because they got some rough games ahead of them.
they
That's for
do.
sure.
And so you can see Chuck covers his Harris picks. There is no pick, I guess. What does NL stand for? I don't know. But Shiner does play Pettis and Yoakum. Who do they play? Or they may be off. We'll let you cover that when you get there, Murray, because I don't know for sure. And we're going to keep on moving. You'll see more of honoring breast cancer. We kind of put it throughout. So this was the little kids football, the younger kids who did that. And then Murray has a good spooky story for you on the back page that you should read in preparation of Halloween.
Well, and actually a part of that story is a personal experience that I had.
Oh, no.
With the ghost. So.
Oh, I thought with whiskey. I wasn't sure which one it is.
Well, if you, yeah, I probably had my share of that. But this guy was one of the old 300, the first people that settled Texas, and he was quite a character, and he was pretty mean, and he
mean.
Yeah, when he was buried, he told them to bury him standing up, facing west, with his lantern and his musket and a jug of whiskey by his side. And the story goes, and I actually saw Bailey's light. His name was Brett Bailey. I saw his light, and while I was varmint hunting one night on the Brazos River.
And drinking whiskey, for
no,
sure.
I didn't. I think that was before I had anything to do with adult beverages. But I saw the light, as that old song goes.
I saw the...
There you go. And my sister was a teenager, and her and a bunch of her friends went out on this prairie, which was named after him, Bailey's Prairie. They went out looking for the light. The light was between Angleton, Texas, and West Columbia. And she come home scared to death and said that light chased them all the way back to Angleton.
Oh, man.
So, Bailey's light and the ghost. Give it a look.
And Murray, you've been going around town taking some pictures, right?
Yeah, I took some last night of a residence over on Page Street that is highly decorated. It's very impressive, and I got some night pictures of it, and they may show up in the newspaper.
They may. I hope so. It was a good one. So we're going to go over to the Shiner Gazette.
Your
ready?
Favorite paper.
It's my favorite.
Go ahead.
All right. So we have that story you talked about, the survivor story. It's from Audra Sapko, and Audra was a former resident of Shiner, grew up, born and raised in Shiner, and has family still in the area. And so she talks about her fight with breast cancer, and we're happy to call it a survivor story for sure.
You bet.
We wish her the best in the future. Of course, Shiner had a good week. So Shiner got their Lone Star Cup Award at the football game on Friday night, which means that they got it for the 5th time, which is a pretty outstanding number. And you can see the picture of them receiving that on the front page. We also, Shiner High School, Mr. Chris Wagner, who is the high school principal, was named Principal of the Year. And that's a big honor. So congrats to him. And then Spetzelbury, if you have nothing going on this weekend, it's a good place to head out. They're going to be doing a pumpkin patch. The royalty will be out there selling pumpkins. We're also going to host a costume contest and a pumpkin decorating contest. So you can carve, paint.
All right.
Do whatever you want.
That's at the brewery?
That's at the brewery.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
So find out all the information on the front page of the Shiner Gazette. So you can head on over there. We do have a new chamber president in Shiner. So I want to welcome Ms. Gracie Rosas. say
All
like
right.
Raymond. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a new
Maybe-
fun time.
Maybe they're kin.
I asked. She said she wasn't sure.
All right.
But she's doing a great job already at the chamber, and we're happy to have her on. And Clayton sat down and talked to her, so learn more about her. So we do have one obituary, and it's Ms. Betty Jean Macholka. Betty Jean Macholka, 77 of Shiner, passed away on Friday, October the 11th. And I do want to say my personal condolences to this family, as well as we always send out our condolences. But I got the opportunity to work with Betty Jean's husband, Michael, at the brewery for the couple of years I worked at the brewery. And he is an amazing man. And all I can say is I heard about how much she loved to shop, and he would read a book in the car while she went shopping. So I know that they spent a lot of time doing great things together, and we're enjoying their retirement. So I am very sorry for his loss of his partner, for sure. I
Yeah,
think it
you
says
bet.
they were married 55 years. So.
Oh, well.
All right. So we are moving right along to the sports. And we kind of already talked about it because Shiner and Halsell played each other as far as the Catholic schools go. Shiner did take the win over the Beavers.
All right.
That's such a fun
Where are
mascot.
the Beavers? Who are the Beavers?
The Beavers are Falls City.
All right.
So they took that win 21-3. And St. Paul, of course, took the loss. So we have that going on. And Shiner Volleyball actually has been doing very well. They won against Schulenburg, which splits them because Schulenburg took the first game, Shiner took the second, and then same thing happened with Flatonia this Monday night. Shiner won, and Flatonia was actually leading the district. So now that ties them 1-1
Did
too.
Mark
So,
Luby, is that his stories or?
it probably is, but let me look.
Yeah.
Mark. Yes, it's all Mark.
Yeah, we got to give Mark Luby some
He was
credit.
working
He's
hard.
another one of our sports writers that pretty well covers Shiner and Moulton and Yoakum, I believe. So congratulations, Mark, and good job.
And don't steal the traffic signs. There's an article about that. It's not a good thing to do. We need to know when to stop and when not. Of course, we have breast cancer awareness. You want to see that? Like I said, it's in all of our papers, and we thank you to our advertisers for sure to allow us to bring that to you all. And we hit the classifieds, which you should read, and we're done.
All right. Well, let's take a little trip over to Yoakum and see what's going on in Yoakum Herald Times.
Now, are we taking this trip from Hallettsville or
Yeah.
from Shiner?
No,
Because
we
were just
were
in
in Shiner, yeah, maybe so. Maybe we had to take that route.
Okay.
But we're going to go down here and see what Allison and what's that other lady's name?
Nadine. Nadine's on vacation. Maybe I shouldn't say where she's on vacation, but she's
All
on
right.
vacation.
Well, she probably don't
on
want
a
any-
beach in a bathing suit.
Ooh.
somewhere.
Well, she probably don't want anybody to know that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I won't say where.
in the Yoakum Herald Times,
Not in this country. Continue.
they got a new turf almost complete at Yoakum High School that they're putting down on the baseball field. They said they started that on October the 14th, and most of the outfield is complete. And so they got that going on. That's on the front page, as well as the early voting beginning. And the Yoakum Lions Club participates in an Adopt a Highway program. We have a nice 4-column color picture on the front page of that. And then a DeWitt County livestock judging team is set to compete nationally. And they have a list of the team. It's Jackie Finney, Wyatt Ludicky, Nathan Oakes, and Percy Torres. And they earned their spot at the 2023 national contest by excelling at the 4-H roundup in College Station. Then we have a story about the upcoming Pumpkin Patch Trail, which will be held on October 31st, which I believe that's Halloween night, Michelle.
It is. Are you dressing up?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I'm kind of like Yashik. We wear our mask year round.
Oh, no.
So, a little story about the Commissioner's Court from Jimmy Apple. And that's pretty much what you can expect on the front page. We're going to take a look inside now. And the Yoakum Fire Department visited Providence Christian Academy. You have a picture of them with the kids. And Keith Boyson was named 2024 Distinguished alumni. So we have that. Then we're going to jump on over to the sports, and we have the Lady Bulldogs placed 10th at a regional meet in the cross country. And then we have a picture of the Yoakum High School Lady Bulldogs and their win against the Edna Cowgirls. And the photo by Raymond Rosas. And they got in here about Lily Foyt. I don't know how you pronounce that exactly. Foyt. And she had a double-double with 18 assists and 14 digs. And Samantha Adamick had 9 kills. And the Bulldogs were in a heck of a fight with Columbus. And they took the loss at 56-38. But Columbus is ranked number 1 in the state, or at least they were last time I looked. And to stay that close to them and fight that hard, Yoakum is to be congratulated. And Alvin Gomez wrote this story. It was a special to the Yoakum Herald-Times. Going to move on now, past the sports, and we're going to take a look at the same stories basically in all the other papers and the big advertising ad about the October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Michelle's story's in here, and she added that 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. So Michelle, what would you encourage women to do as far as keeping up on that?
And don't be scared. I think that's the biggest thing, because when you feel something or whatever, I feel like even if you check, like you should do self-check. So you get familiar with how your breasts feel and if something would feel different or off. But when you feel it, don't be scared to go get it checked and put it off. Like actually go, because even though it seems scary to find out, if you find out quick, it will be much better. Also, make sure that you get your mammograms. Once you turn 40, you can start younger if you have family history. I think if your mother had it or your sister. So you could do all of that. You can also do gene testing, which if you read my story was probably one of my options. But I realized in life that even if I got the gene testing, then I would have to decide if I wanted to have like a mastectomy. Sorry, I said that wrong. And I don't know. What if I did that and then I got like colon cancer or lung cancer? You just never know.
Yeah.
So you can't really prevent everything. So the most preventive way is to stay on top of your health, which is with any cancer or any disease.
That mammogram, is that a once a year thing? Or?
For most people, you go once a year. I go because we're making sure, I'm going every 6 months. So it's kind of what your doctor and your radiologist recommends.
And you should do that for sure. But there are times when, because I know of a person that had like a lump or a bump and it wasn't anything.
Yes.
What are they, like a gland?
So
or
yeah, it
could
like be a gland. It could be just like they say, the older you get, like calcium, you start losing calcium from your bones in other parts of your body. So you get calcium deposits. And that's my mammogram actually showed a lot from, I guess I'm getting older, from my last mammogram at 42, because I used to go every year. Now I have one in 6 months. But it showed a lot more calcium deposits, which, can appear, they do definitely appear different, but they are like darker white spots. So yes, a lump does not always mean you have cancer. And I've had to learn that. And like my mom's cancer, which I talk about a little bit in the story, she had a couple of bouts, but her last one was actually inflammatory breast cancer. So there was no lump. It was like a redness, scaly part of her breast that got like really hard and hot. So totally different type of breast cancer, but different type. So just pay attention. Pay attention to anything that seems odd and off, and don't put it off. Go get it checked so that you can fight it and be like Audra and different people that technology has come a long way in cancer. A lot of people, I mean, including your wife, Murray, goes through the treatment, and as hard as that is, but they become survivors, and that's super important.
Right.
So
That's exactly right. Well, moving on, we got 2 of my columns showed up, and I appreciate the printing. And these are columns that we've had in other papers in the past. One is about cattle trails and the hardy women who rode them, and then one about the best hamburgers. So
I
check
always
that
like
out.
to know where the
We
best
like to
hamburger
talk
is.
about hamburgers. We do that a lot.
Yeah.
I guess that's because we both like to eat.
And eat hamburgers in particular.
And on the back page, you have a 6-column picture of the Yoakum High School class of '79 celebrating their 45th reunion. And we're going to move on now.
You didn't tell Lois Corcoran happy birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I always like birthdays. You know how I am, Murray.
Did I miss any obituaries?
Yeah, you did. 2, actually. I was going to tell you, and then I forgot.
No, that's all right. Well, that's one reason that we work together.
We're the best team. Do you want me to do them? Or you
Go
want
ahead and do them, yeah.
Fred G. Lerma III, age 79, passed away on October the 18th. And we have Mr. Donald Barnett, who is age 73, who passed away on October the 4th. So definitely condolences to their families.
You bet. You bet.
It's the Molten Eagle. Maybe we don't do this in the right order. Because, I mean, if you're driving the county, we should probably go like Halsell, Molten, Shiner, Yoakum, or Halsell, Yoakum, Shiner, Molten.
Well,
because to go from Yoakum to Molten, you have to go back through Shiner.
Well, I'm easily confused, so be careful about how you know.
Yeah.
Because we've done it this way. I'm like,
yeah,
the old school. You do something.
Yes, I just had this conversation. It's either all about winging it and trying something new in this world, or we've done it like this for 85 years. So why change
that's a good thing. We're supposedly changing this podcast up.
So
maybe we could do that.
We could follow the more
actually, you would drive from Hallettsville to Molten, back to Shiner, and then over to Yoakum.
You just want to put Molten second. I see how it is.
Molten.
What about Luling, though?
Well, I'm not driving all the way over there.
Okay.
They'll let Nicole take care
We'll
of
just
that.
call in.
Well, we've got a 4-column picture, 5-column picture of Mr. Yamarick, Yamarick. If I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. But Coach Broussard invited him to visit his senior class and help them register to vote. So we need to start with those youngsters that are coming up, and that'll be voting soon. And we have the early voting underway by Jimmy Apple. And we have the Commissioner's Court approving the request for the Festival of Lights. That's a big deal here in Hallettsville.
Yeah, they hung the lights last week.
Yep, and people come from all over to see those lights. And we'd like to congratulate Mr. Marlon Navasad for being Night of the Month. And he was selected by the KCs. And his photograph is on the front page. And then we have a picture of the school news about Native Americans. And the picture they have here is also about hanging cancer out to dry. So
we do want to do that.
The kiddos are on top of that. We'll go inside now. And we have my Halloween story. And then we have your buddy, Henry Joe Yachek.
Gotta love Henry. What's he doing?
Well, tell us about him.
The first car in Molten. Was it his? No, it was purchased by Dr. John G. Ginther in 1910. It was bright red and had a removable back. The engine was started by cranking a long handle which extended over the left front fender, and it took a fairly muscular, like Henry Joe, individual to start it. Wow. Yeah.
Well, he's a tough little fellow. I wrote a story years ago about a fellow over there in Molten that I think his family had the second car.
Wow.
And they was talking about, and I'm kind of getting off topic, but I'll just add
Why not?
But this old fella, he was over 100, and he talked about his family having a second or third car, and talking about how the roads were like wagon trails. In other words, the ruts were the width of a wagon. And so his dad made a chassis that width and took the body off of the car and put it on that chassis that would fit the wagon wheels trails.
Not
How
too
about that?
shabby right there.
Anyway, on page 3, I tried to include as many things about the kiddos, and you just need to go take a look at it. We've got them with the National Hispanic Heritage Month, which happened a while back, but we never were able to get it in the paper, and we have it there now. And the MISD students are studying Texas Native Americans, and that's continued from the front page. And we have the MISD elementary students competing in various races. So,
and I feel like that Ask Julie question, we don't talk about it much, but I didn't even know there was numbers on my tire. Do you know there's numbers on your tire?
well, yeah.
And they mean things.
Yeah, they mean the size and different things. I don't know what.
Well, if
what
you're
they all
like
mean.
if you're like me and didn't know there was numbers, or you're like Murray and don't know what all the numbers mean, read this Ask Julie column. It'll help you.
Yeah, we probably don't give Ask Julie.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, we probably don't give her enough credit, but we try to get her in the paper as often as we can. We don't always have room in Moulton, because Moulton's a relatively small newspaper. But yeah, she has a lot of good topics, and so anyway, I have a couple of stories here. We have the Bible Solid Ground by Buddy Price, which was our owner. He's gone now, but we still run his column. And then I have a freelance writers column that I included this week. And then the obituaries, we have Barbara Sue Lozowski.
Lukowski.
I know I pronounced that wrong.
I'll help you, Murray.
Do you know?
Lukowski.
Okay. And condolences to her family and friends. She passed away on Wednesday, October the 16th. And they say that everyone knew her in life as Susie. Then we have Evelyn. You want to pronounce that one?
I will let you have that one.
I'm not going to try, but I'm going to spell it. O-K-R-U-H-L-I-K. Now Henry Joe Yashik, he can say it exactly right.
We need to consult him.
Yeah, I guess
Thursday.
before obituaries, we probably need to take a lesson from him. But she passed away at the age of 97 on Friday, October the 18th. And our condolences go out to her friends, family, and everyone who knew her. And then we have those stories. Michelle didn't think I'd get it in, but I did.
But he did.
Her story about her experience with breast cancer and her family. And then we have Clayton's story about October being Breast Cancer Month. And we'll go to the back page now. October 24th was proclaimed Catholic Daughters Day. And we have a picture of Mayor Mark Zimmerman and some of the Catholic daughters. So that pretty well wraps it up. We do have the winners of the M+14 barbecue winners. And that's there. We had ran some pictures a few weeks ago on the front page, but these are a list of the winners. So that wraps up Moulton. So now we're going to take a long ride.
Oh, it's long. I'm tired already. Can we stop at Buc-ee's?
Yeah, we'll have to stop at Buc-ee's, probably get a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
And may have to stop on the way and on the way back.
Yeah, and we have to go to the bathroom, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, the cleanest bathrooms in Texas.
Nope, second to Hofer.
Yeah, that's what Yashik says.
Yes.
So what we got going on, Michelle?
The Unity is key as city readies for the future. So the chamber had their, I think it was their, what is it called? Kicking off the siege. I'm not sure what it's exactly called. Banquet, I'm guessing, the chamber banquet. And so the mayor, who is CJ Watts, delivered a powerful State of the City address. So she addressed the audience And she was talking about how unity is the key, which that is the key almost everywhere right now.
Yeah. Looks like Debbie and Eddie Moses were named the 2024 Luling Chamber of Commerce Citizens of the Year. So congratulations to them on that honor. And looks like Nicole took that picture. She did a good job as usual.
And not Citizens of the Year for Gonzales County is a man who was arrested for cattle theft. So we got the good and the bad. Some days you just got to embrace both. And
cattle rustlers in the modern day.
Yeah, I do want to point this out because Henry was very awestruck by the fact that men can also get breast cancer. So definitely know your family history. If you're a man, don't take it for granted that you do have the possibility of getting breast cancer.
You know, I had forgotten about that. That is true.
So that's important. As we talked about before, the bands are being big right now, and they're luling as a lot of bands that we covered got a superior rating, which was a number 1, and they were in Beeville. And so they march on to their next competition, which theirs is going to be in Beeville. Oh, so that's where they are headed to. So I don't know where they were, but they're headed to Beeville this Saturday. So best of luck to them.
The Eagles return to action with a home game against Florence. We also have an obituary in Luling. Edna Elizabeth Sugg, S-U-G, Fry. And she passed away at the age of 90. And condolences to her family and friends.
And let's not forget, because I just saw it and then I forgot. I don't know. Now I forgot. Oh, well. So on this back page, it's more awards from the chamber and top citizen. And I don't know that I can talk about it because it's in the inside pages. So sorry, Nicole. No, I'm kidding, Nicole. Nicole Smith earns the Community Spotlight Award.
All right.
So she must be really amazing.
Yeah, well.
That's why she's my friend.
She's not the number 1 amazing. She's second.
Yeah.
To you.
But in Luling, she can be number 1.
Oh, yeah, in Luling, she is number 1.
She's
what about
amazing.
the Gridiron Guru?
Brittany, you failed me. You're still number 2, but very close. So let's just make sure that she goes over to number 1 this week. Good job to all of those, but I'm praying that you get the number 1 seed this coming week.
And we got the classifieds and some public notices.
Oh, I remember I was going to say
All right.
that the World Series is coming up. And I think Mark Lugo, no, his name is not Mark, Eric Lugo talks about that. But are you in Jimmy's pot?
No, I never get in that because I never win.
That's such a negative way to be.
Yeah, well, I am negative. You can bet on that.
That's for sure.
Ask most anybody and they'll tell you that. You know, I was disappointed in you.
In me?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, we have a ghostwriter. His name is the Sycamore Creek Cowboy.
Yeah, and I didn't put it
And
in.
you don't mention him, and he's in Shiner.
What?
And I think he's somewhere else. I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
But, you know, Shiner now, he's been in there 2 weeks in a row, so people must like the Sycamore Creek Cowboy.
Yeah, I'll get him next week. So what else? That's not much disappointment. You didn't tell people you came in Monday and your office was decorated. All beautiful.
Well, I wasn't real happy about that. My office was in total disarray. Things
true.
that I had plugged in were on the floor.
Not true.
And the plug broke. And there was pictures of, I don't know if they were deceased ghosts or what they were. And there were do not cross tape like police. I thought the cops were after me when I saw that. And then poor old Jimmy, he had one of those ribbons plumb across his dang computer. So I don't know, he had to move it so he could sit down and work. I wonder who did that.
I don't know. Someone amazing.
And what did our Uber driver, what did he have?
He has a lot of spider webs at his.
And how about Henry Joe Yashik?
Henry has some ribbon and some dead relatives on his desk as well. They're your relatives, Murray.
Really?
Honor. Yeah.
Really? Well, I didn't know them.
No.
And another thing happened last week, too, was we had a woman out on the street with a sign. And I don't know what she was advertising. We started to call the police and complain. I'm not going to say what I thought it might have been.
Yeah, don't say.
But can you explain?
Yes, it was Ani's 50th birthday, 50, halfway to 100 birthday. And so we were celebrating, and I wanted people to show her some love, so I made a honk sign. But it was Margaret informed me it was not made very well and was hard to read. So I thought if I went out there and held it up and danced around a little bit, I'd get some honks. So I did it twice, and I got some honks.
Well, it looked to me that the only people that honk were gravel truck drivers.
Well, maybe, but it still worked. And no one would go out there with me. I invited everyone.
Well, tell me what you got coming up for this weekend. What are you going to do?
I'm going to be so
how many
busy.
pageants are you going to? How many
So
football games?
busy. I'm not going to a football game. So that's a little bit positive. I may help my daughter do a pumpkin for the pumpkin contest. We'll see if we get around to that tomorrow night. Saturday, I am sadly going to a funeral. Then I am going to the pumpkin patch with my daughter and watch the costume contest and everyone have a good time. That should end Saturday. And then Sunday, I am headed to Flatonia for Chili Spill. So the Chili Spill parade will be, I think it's around noon. And then my daughter will have her dance class. And then we have a Halloween party with the royalty. So pretty busy weekend.
So you're not going to Texas State football?
I'm not going to Texas State football. It was actually Tuesday. They played Tuesday. I don't know if they won or not, but they lost last week, so that was no bueno.
Well, one thing I forgot, because,
no.
well, actually, it came out before, or rather after Moulton's paper went to press. They're having an event in Moulton. They're going to have a dress-up party, Halloween, and all this. And Pablo's Tavern, I think they're having a costume party. And all this, I think, will be downtown. And I found out about it via Facebook. Somebody had posted it. And that's Saturday night. So if you're able, or if you live in Moulton, be sure to turn out.
Are you inviting me on a date?
No.
Oh.
I was just giving
Well, that's wrong.
No, the only person here that likes to go on dates with you is Yashik.
Yeah.
And he forgets to bring the ice, so.
He did bring it this week, finally.
All right. Well, my plans only are for I'm going to try to shoot some more Halloween night shots
That's fine.
around town, and hopefully we'll get some of them in the newspaper. I understand that Clayton's writing a story about it.
He is, and I'm going to try to get some in Shiner. So I will put this on our local lowdown Facebook page if you know some places. Since my time is very limited this weekend, if you could let me know in Shiner where to go, I can get there
Yeah,
faster.
that's a good idea, because the place that I took the pictures of last night on Page Street, I didn't know anything about it. I think till Jimmy or Henry Joe said something about it, and I was able to find it, and we hope to get more of those in and get them in next week's paper, because I think next week is the last paper before Halloween.
Yes, it's going to happen. Are you going to give out candy?
No, I
Gosh,
never do.
bless.
But Yashik gives out beer and candy, so
Beer?
everybody will want to go to his place.
Yeah, I want to go there.
Yeah. So I guess that's going to wrap it up this week, and be sure and come to the local Lowdown group, and we'll try to post some Halloween pictures up there.
Yep. I think we're going to run a costume contest. Let's do it, Murray.
All right. Well, I'll let you take care of that.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
You're good at that.
I'm good at doing all the work.
Yeah. And let us know, folks, if you like this new format, and although it's not that much shorter as I had hoped for, but let us know if you like the new format and the way we've shortened up how we cover the papers. And we need you to let us know. We want to improve this podcast. And actually, we want to invite guests to this podcast. If you have anything about your community that you would like to promote, Well, give us a call down here at the newspaper. What's that number, Michelle?
361-798-2481.
Yeah, and you can ask for Michelle.
You can.
And if
Or
she-
Murray.
And if she's not here, well, Murray's only here on Monday and Tuesday. But,
Some Thursdays.
She's supposed to be here every day. We never know from one day to the next. But
I am always here.
Ani can always take the message.
Yes, Ani is always here.
And the Uber driver, if he's here, he can take the message.
Oh, yeah.
All right, folks. That's going to wrap it up for us this week. And we enjoyed being with you, and we hope you enjoyed the podcast. And so I'm going to say goodbye for now, and we'll see you next week.
Have fun this weekend.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.